welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley, and today, hanging out on a balmy, wintry evening here in Birmingham, Alabama, with three of the funniest goddamn people in this town, in this country, hanging out at a picnic table like winners, looking at some ducks and shit over there. I am joined on my left by my friend
Narado Moore, a.k.a. Rod for short.
That's right. And our first time on the show.
And it's me. My name is Lauren Lamphere.
Oh, so happy to have you.
Hello.
And returning champion,
Chris Davis. Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
Chuckles McThunderclap.
That's my name. Say it loud and proud.
Yeah. It really does look like it's about... I checked the radar. It's not supposed to, but people listening that are super into, the ASMR thing, if it starts raining, that's going to sound sexy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Put people to sleep.
The quiet storm. we gotta get some Casios and some cool thumping bass. Make it extra sexy.
I know this is ridiculous. It is December, and it is 70 degrees.
Just to give a quick rundown of the outfits out here, we're all dressed for a different season. So Rivers obviously is summer.
Yep. Basketball shorts, t-shirt. Nothing else needed.
I'm thinking Narado's fall.
That's right. Flannel
Maybe your
pajama
spring,
pants and
but
a
I'm
t-shirt.
definitely winter. I came with the coat.
Nice sweater.
I don't know. Rod's got the pajama pants though, and that might be the deepest winter. I'm not leaving my house.
He's
at
got
all.
a winter relaxation at home vibe.
I'm still in pandemic mode.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's a good mode to be in. I miss that
I've
mode.
been in it for 8 years.
Hell yeah. Oh well. What you guys been up to? I haven't been back here in a couple months. It's great to see your faces. What's going on? I know Lauren's about to make a move.
Yeah. I'm gonna move to New York and try to be a comedian there.
After being a very successful comedian here, you're graduating.
Yeah. No, Chris Ivey said something to that effect. Like, I've been doing stand-up comedy since I was 17, so it's like from 17 to 21 has been like maybe my undergrad in stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to get my master's.
Hell yeah.
Like, that would be...
Don't let that city change you.
That's exactly how I viewed stand-up. When I started in 2009, and when I hit the 4-year mark, I was like, all right, it's time to graduate. I treated it just like college. And 2013 hit, I was like, this is my last year in Birmingham. I got to go somewhere next year for comedy, and that's when I moved to Nashville.
Yeah.
It broadens your horizons just to move around a little bit.
Yeah, well,
Definitely.
and also just being thrown in the deep end in a place like New York or Los Angeles with just everybody is really good, and you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you work hard.
Yeah, because the trade-off is, it's harder to get on shows when you first get there because you don't know that many people. But when you do, you're like, like the first show I did, basically, that was not an open mic. It was like, oh, Kyle Kinane's headlining, or, oh, and Nick Kroll is here, and he's going to do 10 minutes, too. And
Yeah.
it's like, Jesus, I just tumbled off the fucking turnip truck.
Like, I didn't know humility until I did a free show with someone with a Comedy Central credit. Like, on the sidewalk. Like,
Oh, on the sidewalk.
yeah, okay, because that was one of the shows that I did on my like independent tour last year. All of the shows were outside because New York believes in science.
Yeah.
And literally, dude that I've seen on the Comedy Central Instagram like plenty of times is going up after me. And it's like just bums and people watchers.
Right. Yeah, it's always very very weird, especially when you get to a big town like that, and you're just like, oh my god, Jesus! Everybody here is they're either insane or really good.
Definitely.
So
definitely.
yeah,
I hope you cross a lot of insane people in New York. I think that would be a great for the first 7 months. Insanity,
Shit.
just as crazy people.
Yeah,
Yeah, the first open mic I ever did, which was in Birmingham, someone pulled a knife on the host.
Whoa.
So I don't know if
Was it at the Nick?
It was at Marty's PM.
Oh,
People
wow.
pull guns at the Nick.
Ooh.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. My apologies.
Hey,
My apologies to you, Narado, and the Nick.
The
was
Nick
gonna
isn't
say.
Bush League crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, that's
Switchblades of 1973. It's all about Glocks.
well. That'll all be coming later in our jumbo-sized hometown questionnaire I've got coming up. But no, I wanted to start this. Didn't I? Gotta be honest. I thought I had a stack or two energy drink at my folks' house that I had bought. It has disappeared. So I don't know where the hell it's at. That's
Have
what
your
I was,
parents seemed extra peppy lately?
Yeah.
No, I think I don't know
Oh,
what.
Miss Gail and Bob have been
Yeah.
partying.
Yeah, they're getting wild with it.
The house has never been so clean.
I don't want to be around when they're coming down from that high.
Yeah, so I don't know where it is. So I went to Publix this morning to retrieve our ungodly concoction for the day, and I got two flavors of the same brand just because I'm like, there's no chance I'll ever see this again. So I'm like, we might as well drink all of the slurry that we're gonna drink, and of course today I've got Angry Angel.
Same girl.
Lucifer's in the house.
Angry Angel.
Angry Angel, and this is mind, body, and soul fuel. So if you guys feel like your souls need a little gas in the tank,
Sounds like an early 90s opening act for some good band.
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, they were on the undercard of Woodstock '94, the Angry Angels, and then
terrible.
yeah, so that's a tropical flavor, and then just for the hell of it, I got us a blueberry lemonade as well, or
Nice.
It's cool.
Blackberry lemonade.
I'm drinking blueberry Sprite.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, this is a blackberry lemonade situation over
I have a
here.
suspicion Narado's going to like this blackberry lemonade. I just think.
Yeah,
I love blackberry lemonade.
just think this is him.
Absolutely. I'm a berry man.
yeah.
I think it's very interesting already that it's supposedly a natural caffeine.
Yes.
I don't think anything natural is going to speak to your mind, body, and soul.
Cocaine does. It's natural.
And 12 ounces is a lot of cocaine. So, fiddling with tradition here, this is actually made in Huntersville, North Carolina. So
Ooh.
not
Keeping it
in
down south.
not near international waters, unfortunately. At least I don't think.
I love how Angry Angel goes great with pre-workout, PM slump, or the daily grind. If her daily grind is just an image of a laptop.
Yeah, all that tweeting you doing sucks.
Oh, this is fucking Charlotte. Okay, I was I was kind of getting excited because my other theory is that all energy drinks are either made near international waters or they're made in either the desert or the mountains, somewhere where a compound can be formed, a defensive position if the government was to clamp down on the energy drink. But this is just made in Charlotte, so this might be
man.
Garbaggio, but we'll see. So let's hold.
Don't consume more than 2 cans a day. Come on.
shit.
I need fuel.
for my soul.
And my mind.
Oh, buddy. All right, here we go. Let's get our little sample cups going. Oh, boy.
There's nothing better than doing shots of energy drinks in a park.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, listen to that bubble.
Oh, people love it. This is their favorite part of the show. The sounds.
Here's the good friends. Tonight is kind of special. Angry Angel.
All right, let's sample. This is the blackberry lemonade. Angry Angel.
What flavor is this?
This is the blackberry lemon.
Elevate life.
Okay.
Okay, smell initially. Good smells. All right. Okay, yeah.
Ooh.
Now, yeah. What are your thoughts, Lauren?
Ooh, buddy, that tastes pink.
That's a great way to describe it. It is visually pink. It tastes pink. You're
It's
right.
sweetened with monk fruit.
Oh, that's why it tastes fucking
Oh,
weird.
I fucking hate monk fruit.
Oh, okay. I was
Does
gonna
anybody
say.
have like women in your lives that are like constantly dieting? My Nana has been on a different fad diet every single time I visited her for my entire life. And she was doing keto and would only consume things sweetened with monk fruit. And she
All right.
kept trying to tell me that it tasted like sugar. I'm like, it really doesn't. It
Yeah.
really doesn't.
Yeah, you got to mix monk fruit. Like, there's some sweeteners that has monk fruit and something else. They're okay, but monk fruit alone is just eh.
You don't want the pure, uncut monk fruit. That's
The uncut monk. It's no good. Yeah, Angry Angel. It doesn't have a very kind of like intense sweetness like a lot of them do.
It tastes like a more flavorful LaCroix.
Yeah.
Yes. So
And
this,
LaCroix is gross. So this is,
Yeah.
this is gross.
So anything
But
better
it
than
does-
LaCroix is a step up.
Yet it does taste better than LaCroix.
yeah, I like a LaCroix. I honestly, guys, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I got this because it's really aggressive, right? Like Angry Angel. Like I thought this was going to be some kind of like military industrial complex energy drink, and it turns out this is some hippie bullshit.
well,
very
maybe
mild.
Charlotte, come on, man.
maybe it's the same thing as like Monster, where the title of the drink is what it turns you into.
yeah.
So like maybe after we finish a couple cans of this, like we just start like doing community service, with, like flipping off kids.
Yeah.
And just donate to the poor, you piece of shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yelling at people on the street and giving the money. Get a job. Here's $300. Get a job and a hotel.
Yeah, I don't feel angry nor angelic.
Oh, well, that was just the blackberry lemon. I don't know. You guys don't have to do a second one, but we're here. We're,
Don't we?
we're doing
Don't
it.
we?
I feel like I need to shave my tongue.
Like I said, no pressure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm all in, man.
You're all in? All right.
Oh God.
All right, we're going for it. Yeah, feel free. Yeah, pour out whatever you need to.
It's
That's enough for
tropical
me.
time.
Dude, the squirrels are about to go Super Saiyan.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so this is
This is
Tropicale.
the tropical. No other description needed. Just
The smell is better.
like I
This
said,
smells
the,
great.
the smell of the other one was good too, and then
Put a
it
little
was
dab
just,
behind
very
your ears.
fruity.
Drive the ladies crazy.
this one. I mean, it's kind of got the same problem as the other one. It's not. It's got the weird monk fruit aftertaste, and
It's heavy on the acid.
yeah.
It has less of an aftertaste and more of just like it's just all carbonation is what I taste. And it's weird to taste carbonation.
Eh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very
Taste
tangy.
bubble.
It's tangy, but it doesn't have a flavor. It's very strange.
Tastes like bubble.
Really, both of these flavors would be better as soap. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
We've
Like, it
never
smells
explored
great.
the cleansing properties of these vintage drinks.
I think we should just drink that third one. It says don't drink more than two.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how you get the shit to kick in. You drink that third one, buddy.
Yeah, those instructions are for the weak and the lame. The cool people know 3 cans
It's
means
like
you're
saying
awesome.
Beetlejuice's name the proper amount of times, you know?
Yeah. So once again, I always say they always break down into these categories of like aggro, hippie, or meme-ish. This one's secret hippie. It looks
Yeah.
aggro, but it's secret hippie.
Make me an angel that flies from a garden. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
We have this segment about our hometowns, and I figure we've got 3 people grew up in Birmingham, so this would be a good opportunity to do a supersized hometown segment. So I'll ask our questions and then kind of go one by one around the table.
Super
and
size.
everybody can kind of share, whatever they think. And again, I realize all of you live here, so if you need to make anything anonymous or whatever, no pressure to shout anybody out.
I was
I'm
talk
moving
shit
next
about-
month. I'm
I was
burning
about to say.
all bridges.
That's what I was
Yes.
about to say. I was like, now, as far as Lauren goes, absolutely light this fucking bridge on fire.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk shit about a place and then go in and suggest they listen to the podcast
Yeah.
while I sit there and eat their food.
Hey, I'm probably going to go to the cult gelato place later, so I'm in
Oh,
the same
man.
boat. If I could sneak a podcast sticker somewhere in the on the Sistine Chapel that they've got in the bathroom on the ceiling,
Oh, yeah, no one will know.
that would rock. First question. Start with Narado, local legend.
Local legend. As a child of the 90s, I've got to go with Bike Man.
Bike Man. Okay.
There was this old man. He was very old in the 90s. He is very much since passed.
Okay.
R.I.P. Bike Man. But he was this old man. He wore a plaid shirt, overalls, or just regular jeans, and a straw hat. And it does not matter which part of this city you were in, you would see the bike man riding his bike down the street, and you just yell, "Hey, bike man!" And he turn to you and wave back, and you're like, "Yeah, it's the bike man," and he just go on about his business. I've seen this dude in Northwest, East, and South Birmingham.
Oh, so he's not local to any neighborhood. He's
I do not know his origins, man. Don't know his origins, but the bike man was the one, man. That was like, it was so weird because like I know like most people probably think that like Birmingham is a small town.
Yeah.
But it's like the same size as Oklahoma City. Like there's like almost 300,000 people live in Birmingham proper, and there's 1 million people in the Birmingham metro area.
Right.
Birmingham's fucking huge.
Yeah.
The bike man was in every corner of this fucking city. It was insane.
So he was just riding his bike, or
That was it.
that was it? Okay.
He was just like a 70-year-old man. You would just see everywhere you went ride the bike, and you just yell, "It's the bike man," and he'd go, "Hey, it's the bike man," and that's it.
I'm envious of this gentleman.
I was gonna say, what's the strangest place you saw the bike man?
Strangest place would probably be on the west side by the fair.
Okay.
by the Birmingham Fairgrounds. And
Maybe
the
he was
reason
an
it was weird is
attraction.
because I would always see him on the east side.
Right.
That was the first time I'd seen him away from the east side, and that's so far away. And it's just like, what the fuck is the bike man doing all the way over here on that same bike? Where does he live?
Like he's literally characterized by his lack of transportation. And yet he made it.
Yeah.
Every fucking
Perhaps he was your
where.
guardian angel, Narado.
Maybe, but I promise you, ask people in Birmingham if they were around in the 90s, do they remember the bike man? And I bet they were going to tell you they saw him every fucking... Yeah, I saw him in Bessemer one time. Yeah, I saw him in Fultondale. Like, that's like 40 minutes apart. What do you mean?
we had a guy in Auburn referred to as Bike Dude, and he owned the bike shop, which was the name of the business. And Bike Dude kind of like later on got that sort of reputation of just like he was just a dude, just always saw him on a bike, a giant beard, and people were like, oh yeah, but we mentioned Bike Dude, and then I was like, yeah, that's Brian. He coached my 3rd grade baseball team. Like he was like a guy I knew who later became a local legend, but like I was there for the origin of Bike Dude. He's still around. I think the bike shop's still open. They got a new location. Go give him a visit if you need some wheels. Lauren, who's your local legend for Birmingham?
I think it's got to be the Galleria Man.
Okay. I love all of these.
This is the best Justice League society.
That's why I love this question. Who is the Galleria Man?
Okay, so there's some speculation on his like real story. I heard someone say that he might be a burn victim.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Like a Michael Myers.
Okay, let me walk you through the fit.
Please.
So this man is always in the Galleria. He's always hiding somewhere.
Trash cans.
He's got
air ducts.
He's got mutton chops.
Oh.
Okay, a trucker hat, and then like his face is just like saggy. Okay.
All right.
And he's like pretty benevolent. The only thing that I've heard about though is when I was in middle school, people would run up to him and like fuck with him, and he chased some middle schoolers around the Galleria Mall.
What?
That's fair.
Yeah.
They're fucking with you.
Right. No. And I remember being like, well, that's where he lives.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
That's his home.
Don't come to
that's
my
literally
home.
his name is Galleria Man. So
Yeah. Don't go into Galleria Man's home and disrespect him.
yeah. in
Anywhere
front of the
between
belt.
Auntie Anne's pretzels and the Sbarro is my territory. Hold your ground, man.
Yeah. Chris, who's your local legend?
Well, I need to hang out at the Galleria Mall and the fairgrounds more. That's where the really interesting people are. My local legend, and I can't forgive myself for not saying his name. I can't recall his name right now, but you've probably seen him. Tall, awesome black guy, usually with dreads. He always dressed in black. He's outside of every bar you've ever gone to at night to check your ID.
The guy, he's wearing like what looks like a leotard, but it's 2 pieces. He's like black spandex short shorts and a black tank top. And he sweeps up all the bars and what. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and he's the best in the world. It's like I come to this bar for 2 reasons. 1, to drink, and 2, to talk to him. We'll hang out outside, and he's just the coolest dude. He'll be outside of the garage. He'll be outside of places in Lakeview. He'll be outside of places in Avondale. And he's just a really cool dude, and he's like my hero. And in the wintertime, I don't like to be cold at all. I'm so glad it's 70 degrees in December right now.
Yeah.
So I always get cold feet, and I bought these super thermal socks to like keep your feet toasty warm.
Oh, yeah.
So I brought him a pair one night when I was going into the garage, and he was very, very appreciative of it because he's hanging outside all the time. It's like, got to keep this man warm.
Yeah,
That's a
absolutely.
cool dude,
He's a
man.
treasure.
Shout out to him. Yeah.
I wanted to shout out the one that I just recently found out about. I listened to a podcast about those fucking real life superheroes, like up in Seattle. The guys that like dress up in superhero outfits.
I know where you're going with this one.
Yeah, okay. So they just casually mentioned this guy. They're like, well, America's had a long history of local, superheroes, and they run down this list, and they're like, there's this guy, and blah, 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 and Birmingham Batman, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hold on, back up. Did you say Birmingham Batman?
J. Perry.
Yes. Yeah. Dude, this guy rules. I'm very sad he's not with us anymore, but man, what a cool dude. So, first of all, and I'll put this up on Twitter so people can see it.
Yeah, you have to.
His Batmobile is the coolest goddamn car.
He is so badass.
Ever.
He was so
Yeah.
badass.
And so this guy, he had he called it the Batmobile Rescue Ship. It was a 1971 Ford Thunderbird, and he would just help out motorists if somebody was broken down on the road.
Yeah.
He'd fix up their car. He worked, I believe, as a mechanic, and then he'd give people rides around town. He was just like a local guy helping out. And it was funny because with the podcast, they then go into the story of Phoenix Jones and in Seattle, and he's a maniac, and he's just going around macing people and beating the shit out of people. And so I was thinking going into it, I was like, oh, who's Birmingham Batman? And then I looked him up, and I'm like, oh, he's actually great. And,
Yeah, he's wonderful. In the 80s, when I was a kid, we heard about him. We saw like a news segment about him. And then if you glimpsed him just driving by, you were the luckiest person in the world. I got to see him drive by once, and I said, that's him. It was just an amazing
Straight
thing.
up looking like the old school Adam West
Yes.
Batmobile.
Yeah.
It was the shit.
I mean, just custom.
That's awesome.
He's beautiful.
He's rocking the racing jacket. He looks like kind of like
He looked like Racer X.
yeah. I was gonna say he does look like Racer X. I was gonna go like across
Secretly, Speed Racer's brother, Razor Rex, is now Batman from Birmingham.
At night, I really got to get some stares from people. They think it's the flying saucer or something from outer space. They pull up, and they almost get sobered up, Like, what is it?
It's what Willie called his Batmobile rescue ship, an ingeniously converted 1971 Thunderbird.
Batman, he went around helping people, That's why I got coined the name Batman, because I help people.
He was an awesome dude, though, man. Like, it really, he had like a real superhero origin story, a great story of like people helping people, because he started that whole thing because he heard about a woman that got raped by a group of guys that she was broken down on the side of the road, and they pretended to help, and then they raped her. So he jumped into action and became the Batman with the rescue ship, helping anybody he could see who was broken down on the side of the road, trying to keep him safe. It's fucking great, man.
Yeah, he's
Shout out to
wonderful.
him.
There might be video footage of the news story.
There is, I think. It's on YouTube.
He was on like an ABC News special.
Yeah.
back in the early 80s.
Yeah. We tuned in to what we found out. We all tuned in. That was like appointment viewing when we were kids. We had to watch that.
Back when any news about Birmingham that was good made it to the national sphere.
Yeah, once the civil rights era ended, nobody gave a fuck about Birmingham anymore.
Yeah.
It was like classic sensationalism.
Right.
We got that football.
Yeah, you got the football.
And that barbecue.
Well, some of us have football. We don't.
That's Tuscaloosa and Auburn.
Well, it's Tuscaloosa at this point.
Once Birmingham, once the Tide stopped playing half their home games at Legion Field, nobody talked about Birmingham.
Second question, and this might be controversial. Worst bar. And when I say worst, take that however you want, because in my opinion, like a real shitty dive bar is much more fun than some highfalutin ass place.
Oh, you're absolutely correct, buddy. And there's one answer to both those questions. Okay, the worst bar in Birmingham is also the best bar in Birmingham, and that is the Nick.
I was
Hell
about-
yeah.
The aforementioned Nick. The Nick is like, you know how like when you go to these corporate chain restaurants and they all have the same decor and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
If you made a Chili's version of a franchise dive bar, they would all look like the fucking Nick.
Yeah, I was gonna
It
say
is-
it's cartoon. It's
It is
cartoonish.
old school. It is.
Yeah.
It is black floors, black walls, black ceiling.
Black mold.
It is the best and worst thing. The Nick is the type of place where you can do heroin while sitting at the bar. And more than likely, it's because you just bought it from the bartender. Those
Allegedly.
people do
It's
not
called a drink
give
special. Thank you very
fuck
much.
At the Nick
No.
about anything. And the best thing about it is, as scary as it looks, and as many scary stories that come out of there, it is probably the most inclusive place
Yes.
in this
Yeah.
fucking city. If you go to the Nick,
a melting
there's going
pot.
to be a bunch of drag queens sitting next to a lesbian softball team who is hanging out and shooting pool with a bunch of scary, methed up bikers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, come as you are or don't come at all. That is.
The Nick is like church without the Jesus. It really does. It's like if the
No God of any kind in
Unitarian.
the Nick.
It's like if the Unitarian church opened a bar. It is for any and everybody, young and old, gay and straight, missing an arm, missing all your teeth, wearing a tuxedo. Everybody is welcome and will be at the Nick at every event they have.
I love that you put the tuxedo caveat. I have been to the Nick after a wedding in a suit and tie.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right.
And nobody was like, "What is he doing?"
No, they're just like, we get it. Something happened. We're not talking about it.
Everybody likes whale shots. Who cares? Just come in and get it.
Uneven pool table also.
And the reason I said that people pull guns at the Nick is because a good friend of ours was threatening with the shooting at a comedy show at the Nick.
Yes.
One time for
Yeah,
Martin
young
Morrow.
Martin Morrow was there, and he was doing his thing and had a little interaction with somebody in the audience, and they lifted up their shirt, and Martin was
It
like,
was
"Well,
like, hey,
show's
buddy."
over."
Easy thing
Thank
with
you.
the yucks. Okay?
I didn't come here for laughs. I came here for revenge.
I can't think of a
And to
worse
forget.
response to some crowd work than a motherfucker showing you their gun.
Oh man.
You know, that's why we don't really need as much
Comedy.
cancel culture in the South. Well, because your life will get canceled. You fuck around with the wrong person. You say the wrong thing at the wrong place. We've got fucking concealed carry everywhere. Like,
Yeah. What would you say? Is that your vote as well, or do you have a?
no, I have a personal beef
Oh, hell
with
yeah.
Dave's.
Oh.
Dave's
It-
Pub.
it's,
Yep.
5 Points South, right?
Yeah.
Right across from that Chick-fil-A they won't let you park at. Those pieces of shit.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
They have not played about that since before they opened. Like, they put the word out when they was like, "We're building a Chick-fil-A here," and the first thing they said was, "Do not fucking park here after 6 p.m. You will be towed."
We'll light
And
the
it will
boot.
be our pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they do it.
Actually, we'll forego the towing. We will just light your car on fire.
We used to do a show at Dave's Pub, and a girl came to see me at that show, and afterwards we went, and she was like, "I parked at Chick-fil-A." I was like, "We can just call the tow people now.
Yeah.
Your car's not there." And she was like, "It'll probably be fine," and her car absolutely was not
Of
there.
course. Yeah.
Yes, do not, because it's a good Christian organization, but don't park there. God forgives. Chick-fil-A don't give a fuck.
No, Chick-fil-A calls the tow company.
So what
Yeah,
happened
I
to
was
you
gonna
at
say,
Dave's
what's your
Pub,
beef?
Lord?
Yeah.
So I'm a show producer in town. I just closed Laugh Garden, but we were doing a Laugh Garden show at Dave's, and we hired a punk band and informed them that it was going to be a punk band. And we got there, and no one at the bar carded anyone on the way in. And to give some context, my co-producer was 27 or 28, and I was 20. So they knew that there was at least one underage person in that bar.
Yeah.
They didn't card anybody coming in, and then looked around near the end of the show and looked at their drink sales, and they realized, oh, there's a lot of underage kids in here, and they're not drinking.
Yeah.
So everybody has to leave right now.
I was about to say, that's kind of a rose and a thorn. there.
Right.
Did
not
they
making any
really
money,
say like
but-
underage people got to go? Not because you're underage, but because you're not giving us money.
Yeah.
You could see the bartenders getting bored for sure. But it was like, I know what a sea of teenagers looks like, and if you run a bar, you should too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dave's is not for teenagers. It's for frat boys and lawyers who have nowhere else to go.
Yeah. and for smokers to be huddled on the tiniest porch of all time in the rain.
God, I think it's terrible.
Worst porch in the world.
Awful.
Cramped.
And have the nerve to put a bench out there to take up 63% of the space they do have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a leaning porch. It's not a sitting
If
porch.
you move that bench, you can get 8 more people on that.
What about you, Chris? What's the worst bar?
I have to agree with young Narado. It is indeed
the Nick.
The Nick. If you ever come to Birmingham, avoid it and definitely go there all at the same time.
Great way to put it. Yes.
It's a place I do not frequent, but I would feel bad if it wasn't there.
Yeah.
It's a staple. It's an institution,
It's like the
and like an
statue-
institution, and
it's
sane
right
people
next
are
to a
inside.
hospital.
It is perfect.
Like not only next to the hospital, but right next to the emergency room.
Yeah.
So if anything happens, and it will,
Maybe to you.
you are going to survive.
Yes. Just stumble your happy
You
ass
won't
into
suffer
the
but
ER.
more than 29 seconds.
The first time I went to the Nick, and I'd heard about the Nick, and it's like everybody told me about it. They didn't tell me everything.
Right,
So
right.
I get in there, and first of all, the bathroom is just wet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wet.
yeah.
It is just
Describe
wet.
it in one word.
Jesus walked on less water than at the Nick bathroom. And ladies, I apologize for what we have desecrated that bathroom
You will
to.
never see a leak in there either. Where does
Yes.
the water come from?
It's like an Okefenokee swamp. It's just dank and moist. There's a gator in the corner. There's cypress trees growing out of the toilet bowl. It is just wet.
Oh, God.
And then when you go out into the room, and it's like, it was in the middle of summer, and it was like the Arctic wasteland. The AC is on, which I'm sure is just to keep the bacteria from growing and taking over.
Yeah.
And it's just like the scariest people. Nicest bartenders, though. The sweetest can be.
Yeah,
I've never
well,
met a nicer bartender.
You have to be, or else you get hit with a crowbar.
Yeah.
if you're not nice to the bikers.
And they're open, I guess, are they open 24 hours?
That was
I
the other
think?
thing I was going to bring up. I forgot to say with Narado, they appear to just never close.
Yeah.
Like there's never been an hour that was too late.
It's kind of like a mob run speakeasy where like we don't know how long we're gonna be in business. So we literally need to get every penny we can. So as long as there's a paying customer in the Nick, they are open.
Yeah,
Yes, I have seen it packed at 2 a.m. I've seen a crowd of people outside at noon on a Sunday. You people have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Nick is always open. Also, you got to be a member.
Oh yes.
yeah.
Oh, that's
And
the
to be a
Right,
member, of
yeah.
course, you just fill out the little card.
It's like $2 or whatever.
Yeah, and
Lifetime
it's like,
membership.
oh, I'm a membership. I'm a member now. Yay! I can play this pinball machine because I'm a member.
Oh yeah.
I think it's grant. I think it's one of those rules. Like I might be wrong, but it's like the Quest, which is the premier gay dance club.
Oh, I
in
thought you were
town.
talking about John Claude Van Damme movie.
Oh no,
I was about to be like, oh yes.
that's even gayer. So no, it's the gay. The Quest is a great place. It's a gay bar and club and dance, and super popular in town. It's also open 24 hours. So theoretically, on a Tuesday at 3 in the afternoon, you can go dancing and drinking at the Quest. And you also have to have a card. I think, and I could be wrong, but there is a rule where you can't have a 24-hour establishment. Or no, you can't be open past like a certain time, like 2 a.m.
2 a.m. with that being a private
club. Yeah. And so they get around it by being a private club. So you have to have a membership, whatever.
Yeah.
And somebody told me once if the Quest actually closed, they couldn't open back up and stay open for 24 hours. If they actually closed, they had to close at a regular hour.
They have to
before
follow some law that was
Yeah.
passed in
Yeah.
1977.
So it's
Yeah.
just grand opening, and then you just that's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
So if
Yeah.
a hurricane ever comes through town, they're fucked.
Like I have to apply for some sort of special lenience. It's like, we didn't close. Mother Nature destroyed this place.
Yes, the Quest and the Nick, I believe, are both open 24 hours. The Quest doesn't seem like you'll get stabbed there, so
Okay.
you just have fun.
Not
and
with a
dance.
blade.
I want to put in an honorable mention
Oh,
for
yes.
Marty's PM.
Oh, yeah, sure. Marty's has food, supposedly.
Oh, buddy,
But the
that patty
goddamn-
melt is the greatest
Okay,
thing
If you need a
could
patty melt
ever
at
eat.
2 a.m, you go to Marty's.
Yeah,
Oh my
well,
God!
no,
it's
you
tasty.
don't, because the line for the fucking patty melt, it's like, yeah, we'll get you this burger at dawn.
Yes, yes, that is true.
Everybody knows that's like a huge part of Birmingham hangout culture. Is everybody knows you don't worry about where you're going to eat after this and how the Waffle House is going to be packed or how Al's is going to be packed or Purple Onion. Everybody knows. Soon as the bar closes, straight to Marty's for patty melts.
Yes, yes, and get there as soon as you can. As soon as you know that kitchen open, you better get there.
Yeah, because Rivers is right. Like Marty's is never packed before 2:15 a.m.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's nothing but it's all the walking and elbow room. It's like being in your own basement alone when they open. And as soon as 2 a.m. hits, you can get ready. Here comes the flip, because Marty's is on the corner from a bar district.
Yeah.
So it's within walking distance. And
Yeah.
as soon as those bars shut down, everybody on the south side just goes over to Marty's for patty melts.
But do not make fun of the owner's brother.
Or
I don't know if you discussed this on
No,
the podcast
no,
before.
or the Marty's open mic was shut down. There was some incidents.
I was going to say, this is deep Birmingham lore. I am but an interloper. Please.
This was great. Like, there was a great open mic night there. Chris Ivy had started it, and Paige was running it, and Lori was running it. It was great. It was a good time. One night, and I learned this through threads on Facebook and then text and whatever. It's like, what happened? What did you people do?
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, so the owner's brother was there one night, and
And his
apparently...
brother was apparently Yosemite Sam.
Oh, yes. He had very Western wear, like very cowboy.
Oh, no.
I think the shirt, the
He
hat, and
straight
boots,
came
and
in that
everything.
motherfucker dressed like the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Oh, so
And
what
as,
happened?
well, as the story goes, he and his brother were drinking and getting a little loud, and maybe some of the comedians or the host was like asking maybe if they could be quiet. I think things were fine. I think they went outside. So the comedians, the young comedians who are too dumb and fucking stupid to know a good thing when they got it, decided to make fun of the brother
I mean,
through the window.
I can't fault youth for this.
I
He's
know.
dressed as a cowboy.
I know.
As an adult.
I know, but hey, you know, don't shit where you eat.
That's
When you
true.
get your own Marty's PM, then you can shit on the brother's owner.
That's fair. Yeah.
But yeah, so then all hell broke loose. He got so mad. Don't you mess with my brother. Don't you mess with my cowboy brother.
Would you say he got Rootin Tootin bad?
He was hooting and hollering.
He was tootin' and hollering.
I'm sure he said Carn Sarn it a lot.
Yeah. He
And
was shooting
so
pistols
the
and floating them
owner,
up.
Lauren, were you there that night?
No, I found out about this at school the next day.
It was a wild time.
He shut it down. He's like, no, you guys get out.
Yeah, he
and
just
that was,
canceled the open mic. Like
yeah.
he didn't even like shut it down for the night. He was just like, "Don't ever come back here.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
over."
It was the
Making
best.
fun of my kid.
Don't you ever say that to my uncle brother again.
Or we're having a duel
That
in the street.
place was. I mean, it's weird that that's what got it
Yeah.
shut down. But he didn't have a problem with the guy who's showed up for the open mic, and his entire act was that he'd gone to Kinko's and had a picture of himself in blackface
Oh, good.
No, I remember this.
blown up.
I did not know about this.
Blown up to the size of the fucking background of the play Red Ships from Spain. And he decided that was just going to be his comedy special backdrop
Wow.
while he just talked about how he was in blackface one time.
What was his routine? Do you remember that?
I can tell you this: it was garbage.
What goes well with blackface?
It was exactly what you expected, but it wasn't as overtly racist as it appeared. It was just very terrible comedy, and he just had your eyes feasted on his closer the entire time.
Oh my gosh.
No, I think he did give us a couple minutes before he unveiled his surprise.
Because he's a real showman. You're a real showman. You don't give him that just like that.
He had everything but the jokes.
And I want to say he took off all of his clothes before he
was
revealed
wild.
the blackface picture.
Down to his drawers,
Yeah.
his tidy whities, or his
He was wild.
or his tidy whitey supremacist.
A lot of weird things happen at that bar.
Oh,
at
jeez.
that mic. R.I.P. to that show, man.
That was a good show. It's a good show.
Next question, and this you might have already answered this with the Marty's thing. Best local food.
Best local food in Birmingham. I would say it's the Purple Onion, only because it has everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Mediterranean deli type spot and little cafe, but really, it doesn't matter. You want lamb,
yeah.
you want fucking hot wings,
Baked potatoes with a
Yeah.
mountain of stuff on
It's
it.
And a side of falafel,
They've
you
got
got it.
everything, every type of ethnic and American food. It's like a grocery store, just smashed into a kitchen.
What?
And everybody is in there. Everybody who works there, they're either Middle Eastern or Kenyan or Nigerian or like it's just a melting pot back there in the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sad this wasn't recorded. This was just me talking to Joe Raines after he came back from Alabama and he was, off his diet for Christmas. And he just sat there and for 10 minutes described him and Wes Van Horn's order from Al's, or not from Al's, from Purple Onion. And and
It was a feast.
It was straight up just 10 minutes. He was like, then we had the baked potatoes, but we got the ones with the bacon and the chili and like just going down the
baker.
line. Yeah, the
They
bakers.
just basically ordered the sampler. But
Yeah.
the sampler
Yeah.
was made out of all entrees.
Yeah. And they had it delivered too, which was my favorite part. I was like,
Nice.
oh, that's the.
One of my best times ever was like me, Joe Raines, and Narado after a comedy show.
That was the first time
Freshman.
I'd seen Chris Davis after 10:30 p.m.
Everybody thinks they go to bed
We
afterwards.
went down to Al's and we had him hanging out at Al's
Wow.
Till 2.
like fucking 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah,
Chris is
glorious.
Chris is a reverse vampire. What do you say, Lauren? What's your vote?
Okay, I'm gonna say Zaza. I'm
Okay.
gonna say Trattoria Zaza.
Is that's Italian place?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's run by a former line cook. They have a really good spot downtown, and they pay their workers really well, and the food's really good.
Hell yeah.
I was going to say Zaza's too.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
It was one of. I had to split it up, but Zaza's they cut their pizza in the square. Way better than CC's. It is
Tavern style.
best pizza.
Okay.
It's my favorite pizza. It's so delicious. They have other stuff in there. One of the best meals I've ever had was when they have their dinner menu. It was, I still remember, it was 10 years ago, triggerfish with stewed vegetables. I remember it was like, this is like 4-star quality food. It was so good. But my other thing is, if you just want a simple, good-ass sandwich, the Garage.
Okay.
The Garage just has
Yes.
the best simple sandwiches,
It's a
no
great
bells
bar.
and whistles. So good. And the best
Great
part is so
kitchen.
awesome.
Hell yeah.
Those regular ass sandwiches. It's like Marty's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool bar, but the Garage, that sandwich is the shit.
Yeah.
Didn't you have a joke about the Garage, like in like circa like 2011, like the first time I met you? I feel like that's how I know about it.
I can't remember about the Garage. I did have a joke about the 3 worst bathrooms in town.
Oh, maybe that was it.
Yeah, one was the Rockin' Horse Saloon when it was still here.
Oh, okay.
Just no door in the stall. Just like free for all. Let's go for it. Upside Down Plaza, where no
That's my vote
doorknobs.
for number one.
No doorknobs, and the number one with a bullet, and sometimes literally was the Nick.
Yep.
But yeah,
God, I may want to swap out one question on my thing for worst bathroom because that's a fucking great. Oh yeah. What's the next one? Local ghosts or monsters?
Local ghosts and monsters.
And or
Weirdly, Birmingham's like everywhere. It's got haunted shit going, but it's not really a big part of the culture here. We both went to the University of Montevallo.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's haunted as fuck. There's a lot of great ghost stories out of there. But for Birmingham, I would probably go with General, what was his name? Lewis something. I can't think of his last name now. But he has he built a house back in like the early 1900s. It's over on the south side now. He had a wife who was getting her Mary Todd Lincoln on. She had some mental problems, but he wouldn't put her in an institution, so she just stayed at the house. He just wouldn't let her leave there, and they had 2 young boys. And they said that the wife was cool for the most part. Especially when they were like having a party or something, but she kind of like leave the party early all the time and to just go lay down, just in the middle of the shit, just disappear and go to bed.
I get it.
Yeah,
And
that's my move.
the boys would hang out in the front window, always watching when their dad was coming home. And one day, he came home and the boys weren't in the window, and he went in the house and found them smothered to death.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
She had smothered the boys to death and then got in the bathtub and slit her own throat.
Oh my God.
And that's some wild shit because, most times when you think of someone committing suicide, they don't usually like murder themselves. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like, most people would just slit their wrists in the bathtub, not their goddamn throats.
Yeah, it's
But she
commitment.
cut herself ear to ear.
What year was this?
This was, I think it was around 1908.
Oh man,
And yeah, he
it's hardcore.
and so the haunted part is that like since then, like people have seen the boys in the window
Oh shit.
watching for dad to come, and he never comes back home anymore.
But he lived. Come on. What do you say, Lauren? Do you got any spooky stories?
Yes, the Sloss guy, the whole mythology behind the Sloss Fright Furnace.
Yes.
I don't remember it exactly, but just the idea of someone falling into a mixer of molten iron.
Yeah.
That was enough that I was scared to be driven past Sloss.
Oh man, just the proximity is too terrifying.
Since I grew up in Birmingham, like, of course, I toured Sloss furnaces at some point in my childhood, and they had to throw in that spooky little tidbit.
Why are they telling kids this?
You kids have seen Terminator 2, right?
Right.
That happened for real, but there was no thumbs up. It was a thumbs down. Yeah, I think we talked about that on one of the Ghosts and Monsters episodes, and I think we talked about that early on in one of those, the Sloss Furnace guy. But yeah, that is horrifying. A guy supposedly fell into like molten metal.
So that guy was talking about General Lewis Clark. That was his name.
Oh, okay.
Lewis Clark. Yeah.
What do you got, Chris?
As far as ghosts and or monsters go, I don't particularly believe in ghosts myself, but we are in Avondale Park right now for those who can't see us. And just down the road is Avondale Brewery, which, like every other building in Birmingham, used to be a brothel back in the day. I've been told the story. There was a working girl there, and she was thrown out of that window. That's where
Jesus.
she was killed, and apparently she haunts that place. Like, they give walking tours to that. So I don't believe in ghosts myself, but it's a very interesting story. As far as monsters go, I just want to make this comment. I have a white-hot, seething hatred for that goddamn leprechaun story in Mobile.
Oh, yeah. Man.
Whenever that comes up,
That's my favorite thing that's ever happened.
when that comes up, I see it. It's like, I hate everybody in this video.
I want to know where to go there.
I hate all the people who are talking, all the eyewitnesses.
My grandfather was Irish. This flute is 1,000 years old.
I have contempt for the reporter. I was like, they should be fired for doing this story. The producer who okayed it, they should be fired. The camera person should be fired. The person driving the news van should have driven it directly to the station, into the satellite dish or whatever, and knocked it out. Everybody in there, I hate everybody. It makes me sad for humanity, sad for black people, sad for journalism, sad for leprechauns. The only person in that segment who does not anger me is the guy who says he could charm leprechauns and had that flute.
The flute. It was
I'm not mad at
1,000 years
him
old. Yeah.
because he's obviously insane.
This guy helping to direct traffic says he's prepared for his encounter with the leprechaun. He's suited up from head to toe.
This wars off spells right here. This is a special leprechaun flute, which has been passed down from thousands of years ago from my great-great-grandfather who was Irish. I just came to help out.
So he gets a pass. Everybody else knew better.
Man.
The Mobile Leprechaun. And now that I said it out loud, people are going to go look for it on YouTube. I'm just perpetuating it. I'm sorry. I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe in stupid people.
Look, there's a simple explanation, though. It's a crackhead got a hold of the wrong stuff.
Wrong stuff.
Yeah. So,
yes.
you know,
I wish nothing but ill will on everybody in that segment. The whole neighborhood.
You found the end of the rainbow.
Yes. It's except for the flautist.
No, I was going to say there was a perfect moment in like 2007 where like that happened, and then I swear to God, YouTube happened like a week later.
Oh.
Like it was just this perfect synergy. Yeah.
So ashamed by everything. Not just for the people, just for humanity in general. And for the people who thought, oh, this is a good news story. This is a Pulitzer Prize. This is Edward R. Murrow kind of stuff. We need to do this on the slowest news day in Mobile ever. Hate them all.
The last question is favorite thing that's not here anymore.
I'm gonna have to say it is a restaurant. And I have so many great memories there. My favorite thing that's not here anymore would have to be Rogue Tavern.
Oh.
Which is a restaurant and bar downtown. And 2010, about the same time that Twitter was hitting real hard, all of us from Twitter used to get together from like 2010 to 2012. Every Friday, we go down there for lunch and then stay down there through dinner, just eating, drinking, and having a fucking ball. And then we'd shoot around the corner to the south side to Fuego. And eat dinner. That's another thing. You can add that on to the list as a tandem, because we'd stay at Rogue Tavern. We go down there about 2:00, stay down there until about 7, then we'd shoot around the Fuego for tacos for dinner. And that was like the premier, like when Taco Tuesday became a thing around the same time. That was the Tuesday night spot. $2 tacos, premium tacos too. Fuego.
Yeah.
Rogue Tavern, we miss you.
I only went into Rogue Tavern once. I did that Secret Stages festival in 2012. Probably not coincidentally the last time they had comedy on the festival. And
heard nothing but bad things.
Well, so Rogue Tavern,
I enjoyed
it was not the kind of festival where you had to necessarily pay to get in the venues. So the Rogue Tavern just had, I'd say, 2/3 of the restaurant were people just trying to enjoy sports on television and
like
beer.
all comedy at restaurants and bars.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a comedy ambush situation, and a comedian that honestly has since gotten incredibly good at comedy, but had just started. I watched them walk. The group that the guy walked hadn't crossed the threshold of the actual restaurant yet. He was in the vestibule, the little mud room in between the entrance and the outside, and said, I don't even remember what it was, but was just trying to get everybody to shut up. It was like, you motherfuckers or whatever. And I just watched this entire group come, do a complete 180, and then just walked out. Like they didn't even make it over the threshold.
Clear the room.
Like
they
the
were just,
Abe Simpson meme.
yeah, pretty much. They just walked in and were like, comedy? No. Oh, hell no. What about you?
I've got to say Bottle Tree.
Oh, shit. Yes.
And
that's gotta
what's
be
crazy
mine.
is I was a baby, and like that was I couldn't even appreciate it for being a venue so much as I could appreciate it for the Viking funeral.
Oh, yes. Oh, it was so good.
What was that?
It was a bowl with chili and meat and stuff. It was so good. It was just this amalgam of stuff. It was so tasty. Love Bottle Tree food.
Okay.
All the best comedy in this city used to happen at Bottle Tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We did a lot of good shows there.
Yeah.
I remember a great set Narado did. He closed this whole show. Your family was there. It was such a fun time. And Kyle Kinane came there. Paul F. Tompkins, Todd Barry.
Zach Galifianakis.
Patton
Oswalt.
Yeah.
Neil Hamburger.
Yeah.
That's where I was with Joe DeRosa when he told us the story of Kevin Hart getting assaulted with chicken wings at the Sweet Cheeks Comedy Club. He was in New Jersey.
Oh my god, that is called paying your dues.
Called a sauced hot wing right in the eyeball.
Oh man,
That'll stunt your crew.
Like, I feel like you could almost flip it around to being funny until it hits you in the eye, and then you're like, "This is not. I can't do anything with this."
very, very special episode of Hot Ones.
Yeah. Jesus, wild. Yeah, Bottle Tree. 70% of all the concerts I saw in college were at Bottle Tree. So
Iron City took over for Bottle Tree. After Bottle Tree closed, Iron City took all their business when it comes to concerts and comedy shows. Bottle Tree was the shit, man.
Yeah.
We did our first Yellowhammered in Birmingham at Bottle Tree with Roy Wood Jr. there.
Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh.
had a fucking great time there. So
And now the owner of Bottle Tree has a new place called Saturn, which is just down block where we're recording.
And
I was gonna say
Also, a super good comedy venue.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was about to say Yellowhammered coming on the 22nd. Get your tickets now. What do you think, Chris? What's your favorite thing that's not here anymore?
I got two things. Also, just piggybacking on Bottle Tree, I started doing art shows for the first time in 2011. And Bottle Tree had a little thing called the Bottle Tree Flea market.
Yeah.
And I did that show. It was funny because it was Saturday and Sunday. You could set up for the art during the day, but you had to break down because shows were happening at night.
Yeah.
And
Shit would get beer spilled on it.
yes, and so Saturday we're breaking down, and there's this group of people on stage, and they're doing sound check. The most amazing sound check I'd ever heard from this band I'd never heard of in my life. Alabama Shakes.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god.
Nobody knew who the hell they were, and it's like her sound check was better than most people's concerts.
I have a similar story. We went to go see Dr. Dog. It's one of my favorite bands ever, and we were with the radio station at Auburn at the time, WEGL, and so we went backstage and like interviewed them. And after we were done with the interview, they were awesome dudes. We were coming out, going to go back out to watch the show, and there was the dude just playing. He was just playing a guitar, sitting on one of the couches in the back, singing "Sugar Mountain" by Neil Young. And I was like, "Damn, that guy has a fucking amazing voice." So he came around. It was Fleet Foxes, and no one knew who the fuck they were. It was like before their record came out, and then it was one of those situations where, like, you know, kind of apples and oranges, but holy shit, one of the craziest opening bands where you could hear a fucking pin drop when they started like harmonizing, and you're just like, oh my god, and then they became huge. So,
Very cool.
That is awesome. Always like some cool shit to see.
Yeah.
Like the first time I was in England right after the turn of the century, I saw Amy Winehouse
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Wow,
do
man.
this show at this backyard.
Oh man,
Like 30 people.
That's so cool.
Nobody knew who she was.
That is so
It's fucking
cool.
banging.
yeah,
Excellent.
hell yeah.
My two places are Charlemagne Records.
Oh, that's gone.
Yes.
It's gone.
Shit.
It went right before.
Hope
It
you
closed
got
right
that
before
sticker.
the pandemic, and you walked upstairs into this beautiful. They've been there for 30 years. This trio of people started it. I started going there when I was 18, and it's like, oh, this is where I become a full-fledged adult. I'm learning about Sun Ra and like Leonard Cohen and all this jazz and his bands and buying all these used cassettes. Beautiful place. I miss it so much. And of course, Urban Standard is what I missed the most. This Urban Standard Coffee House was the best place downtown by far.
Yeah.
And they were nice enough to let me do my stupid Fresh Ground Comics show there. Some of the
Yes.
best nights in comedy I've ever had were at Urban Standard.
Yeah.
Man, I miss it every day.
Hell
I
yeah.
got dumped for the first time at Urban Standard.
Oh no, not my baby.
Wait a minute. Did you say you got dumped for the first time in Urban
Yeah,
Standard?
yeah, sure did. Met up to get dumped, ordered a muffin, got dumped, got the muffin, and walked out. So, yeah, I
least you got
love
the
Urban
muffin.
Standard.
Yeah.
This is a tasty treat. Being with you is not. Have a nice
We have a segment on this show called Top 3. I think we'll probably just have time to do one of these. I'm shouting out my friend in Austin, Texas at _Ben_Adams. Top 3 celebrities that need a satirical biopic like Weird Al being John Malkovich or that Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh.
And I just thought, what a tremendous question. And I'll just do mine really quickly because I think I've made mine pretty well known on this show. Number one, obviously the My Pillow guy, because we've covered him extensively. I don't want to go into it. I read his fucking book, and my number one answer, which is him, it coincides with my number two answer, which is that in order to do the satirical biopic, it's so much funnier to pick a guy who is a liar and then do the biopic exactly by the book. Like, do the shit that he says happens as a way to demonstrate how fucking nuts it is. And if that person, like I believe Mike Lindell is that person, is so bought into their own bullshit mythology, they would love the movie. And then it would also win an Oscar because everyone else is like, this guy's full of shit.
Everything I say in this movie is real. I deserve an Oscar. I don't know why the conspiracy theory against me getting an Oscar is real. Buy My Pillow. Not My Pillow, that one. That one's mine. Don't touch it.
Yeah, I've read his book since the last time we saw each other, Chris.
Oh my gosh,
why? We covered it on the show. It was it's a fucking. You think just the deep lore of him is beyond.
Lindell's.
My number two, literally the same kind of person, except blown up to a much more famous degree. Hulk Hogan.
Yes,
because
brother.
he is also completely full of shit. Like, literally, the man has not said anything true ever. Everything he says is made up. Every time he tells the story of body slamming Andre the Giant grows by inches and pounds. Like, legit, Andre the Giant's probably maybe 450. IRL, and what, like 7'2"? Hogan's like, oh, the Giant was 800 pounds, brother. He was 8 feet tall. Like, his shit just gets crazier and crazier.
And he had a blue ox, brother.
Yeah. Like, the older he gets, the more insane. Like, we covered on the Patreon, I think it's WrestleMania 9, where Hogan comes to the ring and his entire face is just fucked up. And the, quote unquote, alleged real story is that Macho Man punched him in the face for real at a bar.
Whoa.
But when he tells the story, he's like, we were out in the bay, brother, in Tampa, brother. A thunderstorm was approaching. It was me and brother Brutai, and I fell off my wave runner. My wave runner crashed in my face at 60 miles per hour. And you're like, you'd be dead.
There's no way.
You would be very fucking dead.
If he was mortal.
5 miles back.
Yeah. and I, like, when we were doing that Patreon episode on WrestleMania 9, I looked it up. I was like, this supposedly happened on a Wednesday. WrestleMania was the following Sunday. And I'm like, there's no goddamn way this happened. But yeah, so that would be it. And then my number 3, Henry Kissinger, something like that. Like a guy who no one thinks is funny, and then you could just be like, all right, let's get an Adam McKay treatment on these war crimes. Let's go ahead and do that. So that'd be my top 3: Mike Lindell, Hulk Hogan, and Hank Kissinger.
That's a team.
Yeah.
Right there. That's a heist right there. You pull.
Yeah, I know. What do you think, Rod?
My number 3 is just like yours. I thought Hulk Hogan would be great for that.
And they were gonna do one, I thought, until, Hulk Hogan also, real quick, it should be said, someone being racist, I've heard of that. Someone having a sex tape, I've heard of that. He's the first ever racist sex tape. Yeah. That's like, it's doesn't.
Very, very.
But is he racist during the sex tape?
Yes.
What?
That's why it's a racist thing.
Yeah. He's like nude with Bubba the Love Sponge's wife, with Bubba the Love Sponge watching on closed circuit. And
with his permission,
I
believe.
He's like, I don't want my daughter dating him, is all I'm saying, brother.
I didn't know. I remember that. I didn't know that was during the sex.
Yeah.
What a thing to mention during the.
It's a very weird, I'm having sex with this person while on meth situation. Because it's just a weird thing
meth
to
explains
come up.
everything, doesn't it?
That's very weird, like pre-coital and post-coital conversation.
Yeah. He talks about how he ate too many ribs and that he doesn't want his daughter dating black men.
It's just such a weird, like, to just be laying there covered in sweat, butt naked, reaching for the cigarettes and the water, and just like, and fucking Chinese people.
Right.
Where is this coming? It is so weird. I dated a a girl. Full disclosure, I am black, and I dated a girl who was white for like a minute, maybe 3 weeks, and out of the blue, he does not know I exist. By the way, their grandfather doesn't know I exist, doesn't know we're dating. Just mentioned. Well, don't bring any black grandchildren home. It's like, what? It came out of nowhere. She was like leaving the house, and I guess he thought she would just bring a few wayward Negro orphans home. It was like, he was just like, just putting it down.
I know who Madonna is.
I really wonder. I broke up with my white boyfriend this past week.
Good. I'm kidding.
Yeah. And I wonder if like now my grandparents are waking up in the middle of the night. It's like, oh my God, Jamal! No.
All right, you got
to protect our baby girl.
You got Hogan. What else you got?
Got Hulk Hogan in the 3 spot. Number 2, I feel like you with somebody who like isn't funny, but who's very funny by accident. I would go Bill Clinton.
Oh shit! Yes,
I would love to see Bubba-ing it up.
Yeah,
I think that would be very funny.
Yeah,
because he's a cool enough figure to where he'd enjoy being put in that spot, and people would enjoy that.
Yeah,
and number 1, somebody who is in a weird spot where they're magnanimous enough to have a biopic about them, but is so uninteresting. That's the only reason it will never happen. So they gotta go this route. It would be Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh shit! Yeah,
I was about to say Jerry Seinfeld.
Wow.
Well, because there's already so much fictionalization of his life through like the
show.
The show, yeah.
He's accomplished so much. He's done so much. He's like a person who somehow has reached these heights that are themselves super interesting.
Yeah.
But the story behind that journey is the most white bread, lame bullshit. So I think it'd be great to see a weird ass.
Yeah.
It's white bread bullshit with a brief detour into statutory town.
Oh yeah, he likes him young.
Yeah.
At least one. Yeah, like he has to. Like we need the Jerry Seinfeld story. But we don't need the actual Jerry Seinfeld story. Nobody gives a fuck.
Too straight-laced. Just a notepad, keeping his head down and getting on Carson and getting fame.
Yeah.
We need something interesting and weird.
I was going to say, maybe you get Darren Aronofsky to do the Seinfeld story, because he can take something fun like professional wrestling and make it a huge bummer.
Yeah.
He can take something fun like stand-up comedy and make it depressing. So, Lauren, what are yours?
Okay, so
by the way, before your breakup, when I said good, I was just kidding. Breakups are bad.
Oh no!
How was the muffin
it's
after?
Cool.
Oh yeah.
The traditional breakup muffin.
Yeah, the old breakup, not the
muffin.
recent breakup.
Did you get a muffin after this?
That's what I was saying. Yeah, the
I
recent
actually didn't get a muffin after this one.
Did you break up with him?
I got the
So
flu.
you owed him a muffin.
You know, that's
cupcake,
so
at
true.
least.
That's so true. Okay, so I think Michelle Obama, because I saw an interview with her the other day, and I was like, that's not badass enough for Michelle Obama. I just I need there to be a reason why she hates obese children besides. or if she got mugged by a tub of lard. What happened that you had to ruin my lunch?
Maybe a DVD collection of Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids fell on her head when she was 19.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Like a cartoon
dent.
anvil.
Well, the good and bad news is that given a long enough timeline, eventually the kind of right-wing awful movie machine will eventually give you the fucked up Michelle Obama movie.
Yeah, Ben Shapiro, where are you?
That's what I'm saying.
Michelle Obama.
The real story.
Yeah.
And then it's Candace Owens playing her.
Oh, no.
Beverly Hill Bombers.
Yeah, so Michelle Obama. I've been watching White Lotus, and I think Jennifer Coolidge has a lot going on behind her eyes.
Okay.
That lady has seen some shit. That one could be truthful, I know. Her hair and her face have gotten so much bigger throughout my upbringing. In Legally Blonde, she was already crazy, and now she is cartoonishly expanding. But yeah, Jennifer Coolidge. And then who was my third? Oh, Leslie Jordan.
Okay.
R.I.P.
Yeah, Leslie Jordan.
Yeah.
Just literally 2 days ago, just finished like my 9th rewatch of Will and Grace. Love Leslie Jordan.
He is a delight on that. I love him so much.
What do you got, Chris? What are your top 3?
Mr. Rogers. There's been documentaries.
There's been a movie?
I want a ridiculous biopic from Mr. Rogers as a young person all the way up to his Mr. Rogers-ness. Just completely embellished like the Weird Al one.
Right.
Just full of the most crazy, insane stuff.
Well, and
also the theories that were debunked. I want all those in there.
That's what I was about to say.
He used to be a Marine gunner and
he has like 50 confirmed kills.
Yeah,
and
the
shit.
tattoos all up his arm and stuff. I want all of this. I want the buff Fred Rogers just having one of his buddies over his shoulder, just shooting through trees in Vietnam.
Ooh. I'm trying to think who you get to play because obviously they had Tom Hanks play him, but if you're gonna have like buff Fred Rogers, it would be funnier.
Hanks.
Yeah, boom, damn.
Tour de force performance.
I mean, it's meta.
Yes,
you got Tom Hanks playing the actual Mr. Rogers. You're doing a Mr. Rogers parody. You get a parody of Tom Hanks.
Is Chet Hanks doing the?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Booyaka.
Yeah,
Daniel
yeah.
Tiger.
Oh, yeah, the entire thing is him and he's doing patois.
I wonder how many times you can say "White Boy Summer" and still have it be like rated PG-13.
White boy summer. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Booyakasha.
Does this trolley go to Zion?
Lady Elaine Fairchild, you looking good, girl. Bob Ross. Bob
shit.
Ross painting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would be kick-ass.
Yes. There was a documentary about how the company now has screwed his family out of his
Everything.
image and likeness and
we
everything.
we drank a Bob Ross energy drink on this very program.
Completely unlicensed.
Yeah.
But a Bob Ross biopic, I want to know more about the childhood and the upbringing, whatever. I do know this, like his puffy hair. He didn't want to do that. He wore it like that once, and everybody said that works. We like it, but I don't want to. No, you're keeping the white guy fro, the wafro. You're keeping it.
The Terry Jacks seasons in the sun.
And you get like a little bit of his like early home life. Find out if he was a happy accident.
Yeah.
Right?
He was in the Air Force, so you show him kicking ass
Oh yeah.
in some war.
Knife in his teeth and shit.
Flying over. His mentor is Fred Rogers. Calls him
Put
up.
in the movie that like Top Gun is based on his actual life and experience as an Air Force pilot.
That's why the mountains have to be happy. I crashed in those mountains. All my
Painted them all
mountains are
red.
sad.
This happy little accident courtesy of the U.S. of A. And my third, and just going with the wrestling thing, Randy Macho Man Savage.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I need it. But I need from beginning to end. I need a little boy in those goggles.
Yes.
I need a 9-year-old boy with those mirrored goggles.
Just the same outfits.
Yes.
Just his whole life.
Yeah.
That would
I
be
don't
awesome.
want to go to grade school
Yeah.
today.
I'd like to see a Macho Man biopic that's like a period piece.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Macho Man was born in 1432
Oh, hell yeah.
and lived to 1496.
He's just that tough. He had to move from town to town because people kept realizing he was never aging.
Yeah. Making towns, brother. Well, shout out to Ben Adams. What a fantastic top 3. If you've got top 3s you'd like to hear, please tweet at us at TheGoodsPod.
Oh, yeah!
Y'all, are you ready for our final segment?
Yes.
Oh, and you can hear it now. Those bongos, that percussion. This is the Rolling Stones' Sympathy for the Devil, our jam of the fucking week. Off of the classic album from 1968, Beggar's Banquet. This song has 124 million views on YouTube, 32,036 comments, and y'all, I found the best. So
how could you?
Let us now dip down into the comment section of the YouTube video for the Rolling Stones' Sympathy for the Devil. First up, Ricky Painter from 1 year ago. I'm the stay-at-home, collect money kind of guy. I listen to tunes when I want to smoke some weed. So what? Shout out to Ricky.
In your face, Mom.
Honestly, I'm 100% behind Ricky with this. This is
I know so much about him.
Congrats, Ricky. You're an adult.
Living his life.
hey, he's getting money,
Living his
smoking
life like it's
weed,
golden.
listening to tunes. Can't beat Ricky's life, man.
Dude, I don't know you guys ever heard of this music thing.
But I'm all
Inside
into it.
scoop on this thing. You might want to check out listening to some tunes. I know you never heard of it. You fucking leptons.
And to make the assertion like you're the first person to ever smoke weed while
Right.
listening to the Rolling Stones.
Dude, I make money. Okay, dude, have you ever heard of it? I got a job. I've got weed to smoke. Got some music going. Huh? What are you guys doing out there?
Oh,
That man is looking for stepkids.
if you don't think he's cool, this guy's pretty cool. Albert Thatcher from 10 months ago. My life philosophy is when you're given the chance to be cool or not be cool, always be cool.
Well, now you tell me.
You won't be lying on your deathbed wishing you had been less cool. So when it came time to choose between a $160 glass of whiskey and a $40 glass of whiskey, my buddy said, well, we're men of wealth and taste. Damn it, now I gotta be cool. Cool, dude.
Sweet guitar lick.
Wait, everyone, be quiet. Grandpa's about to speak his final words before he goes off this mortal coil. Hey, I wish I'd been more cool.
I wish I'd spent an extra $120 on whiskey.
I wish I'd done more wheelies on my
I can already see it.
bicycle.
That dude's tombstone is just gonna read, all right.
Yeah.
The coolest kid in school.
I never did meth with a cheerleader behind the school.
My life philosophy, always choose to be cool. Radical.
That's why I'm commenting on it.
Nothing cooler than that.
Yeah.
John Din Jin from 4 months ago. And again, of course, this song has the eternal commandment, pleased to meet you, won't you guess my name? So John Din Jin 4 months ago. The name you are looking for is Jonathan David Taylor. I got shot in the back in Mexico over Selena's murder. They literally kicked me out of Mexico. They kicked me in the ribs until I left Mexico. The name you are looking for is Jonathan David Taylor, formerly John Esquire Jones, currently Jonathan David Taylor, also known as Tyler Durdante.
I just want to know what is this guy confessing? It sounds like somebody is setting someone up to take the fall for a murder that we already know who did it.
It's muy
Back it up
caliente.
to Tyler.
Durdante, which I assume is
Durdante.
like a Fight Club reference, but it's his when he's in Mexico, because in America he's Tyler Durden, but when he goes to Mexico, Tyler Durdante.
That's kind of breaking my brain. Because does he have an alter ego? And when does that switch happen on the border?
Yeah, I mean, right around the Rio Grande, I assume.
Yeah.
Well, he says he also has John Esquire Jones. That's his other. alter
And at
ego.
first I was like, you took someone's last name in a marriage and then like decided not to.
Yeah.
Like
First of all, like I said, we know who killed Selena.
I've
She
seen-
didn't get killed in Mexico.
No, Texas, I believe.
Yeah, Corpus Christi. Go Horn Frogs.
Unless it's a different Selena.
Why
Yeah.
on earth could this man and would this man be shot in the back and literally kicked out of Mexico over the murder of a woman who was killed in America by the president of her fan club?
Right.
What is he talking about?
It could be another Selena. That's like Jane over there. There's a lot of Selenas.
I just like the visual of the Sonoran Desert. It's just flat sand and just a man being slowly kicked like a June bug just across the desert.
He sounds like somebody who ended up on the cutting room floor of Kill Bill.
Yes.
Shot him in the back, kicked him across the border. That's Clinton's problem, man.
Victor Simsiak from 2 years ago.
Yes, Simtiak. Very good family, Simtiak.
Fuck! Boris! We need more vodka! Don't worry, Boris always has something hidden somewhere. Boris, faster for fuck's sake. So
This is proof that all those crazy, unintelligible YouTube comments are being written by Russians
oh yeah.
to activate sleeper agents.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And this guy forgot to enter the chat window for all the other people working that job. It was like, more vodka, Boris. Send. Oh, shit, I posted that on YouTube.
I must kill the premier. I've gotten the signal. Must kill premier.
DX Revelations from 8 days ago. Uh-oh.
Suck it.
This is recent, yeah. Used to sing this song when I couldn't walk straight from whatever substance I was on the streets that I had people construct illegally. While police were on standby, and they couldn't arrest me for being suspected for a lot of horrible things I may or may not have done. So 8 days ago, a rogue,
a rogue city planner.
City planner, exactly. I built these streets. You can't arrest me for public intox. This is my street.
I murdered the comptroller in his sleep.
I'm a powerful man similar to John Gotti. Don't tell anybody. Got a crew coming in to pave 32nd Avenue.
He's a madman.
But honestly, that's the kind of madman this city needs.
Killer Bot from 10 months ago. I honestly love this personification of the devil. Not as some unimaginable god of evil with legions of demons, but instead as an evil, yet classy, entity that sometimes has to give unsavory events a little push, or does it just for his pleasure. I can almost imagine the devil as a handsome man in his 50s or 60s with silver hair, designer tux, smiling at me while lounging in a leather armchair, cigar in one hand, whiskey in the other. And I'm like, hey, that guy, you catch the guy with the $120 whiskey. He's your man.
This dude did heroin and then watched a Frank Sinatra movie. He's in and out of consciousness. Like, man, the devil, dude, man, it ain't no like half goat dude, man. He's like wearing a fancy tuxedo and smoking a cigar. And he's like all classy and shit, bro. He's like, hey, man, I don't mean to be crazy and overt with the evil. I just need to nudge this nun into being a prostitute.
Andrew Housebrook from 1 year ago. Don't ever forget I'm your godfather. And I'm French, not Italian. And that's not a position you can ever reach because it's mine. I earned that because I am a good-ass dude, because I care, because I will protect the families and protect growth and opportunity. LOL. Mwahaha. Success. God, my foe has been vanquished. To bowing to me.
Oh my God!
This is a great reminder to put safe search on.
Well,
this is Jacques Cousteau being cut off at some French bar. He said 4 bottles of wine.
Well, so
that more Campari for you, Jacques. Get out.
Well, so that was a year ago. He came back 6 months later and says,
6 bottles.
Oh my gosh! The follow-up.
A follow-up. Fuck them trees. I don't give a fuck how crazy motherfuckers think I am. I don't give a fuck if I'm tripping. I think trees be on some bullshit. Burn the motherfuckers and laugh as I hear it popping and crackling. And then I'll wait half the day and I'll burn them again and piss on them. Then ask the fucking tree if that's funny. Then come back later with a fucking chainsaw and cut down every tree till I'm exhausted, which may take a few days, depends on how pissed I am.
That is the most offensive Arbor Day poem I've ever heard.
The guy comes back from being like, I rule everything. I'm the godfather. To being like,
this is the person who set Australia on fire in 2020.
I'm just shocked that you saw a post and then you're scrolling. You saw another one.
I mean, name looked familiar. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta go back to that.
You're eagle-eyed, man.
Thing. Fucking tree.
Yeah. This is the real
I go
problem.
so hard for the stones. I do not fuck with the trees at all.
What was our Lord and Savior crucified on? Trees. Need I say more?
Monica Catherine Trent from 2 years ago. Randall Lee Trent is a cheater, son of a bitch. He is a current husband. He is wanting his long-haired young girl in HR who Bob Wagner told him to do. This is my legal husband. He is the devil who gives most of our money to his church and wealthy women. looking for a house and a place for his red toolbox. And then she signs it, Monica C. Vinegar Trent. The battle goes on.
I just want you to
is
know
in the toolbox?
before we comment on any of that old man over behind me with the dog was at that trash can when you first started this rant. He had absolutely no context. He was so concerned. He was so taken aback when you started saying that shit.
But yeah, red toolbox. I was like, is that a...
It's a metaphor for Pandora's box, which is also a metaphor.
Do you think on their computers another box pops up, goes, please enter strange non sequitur here? 'Cause these aren't comments, these are diatribes.
About nothing.
yeah, well, it's about the devil, you know. She
Man.
said he's the devil, I guess.
I'm not as insane as I want to be. Life seems so much more interesting.
Oh my God, yes. I want to be much less hinged.
Well, you are moving to New York. Get ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you're going to get it.
Got a couple more here. Jamie Co-Air Milligan from 9 months ago. I have sympathy for the devil, as I'm an unwilling slave to Jesus Christ, a.k.a. Hitler. Joshua 24:15 proves that God is a liar. Jesus is a narcissistic, sexist prick, and you will never smile, laugh, or have any hope. He will crush you. I gave up 2 years of sobriety when this tyrannical fuck showed up against my will. Duck you, Jesus. You're more evil than Hitler. So I like that Jesus showed up with beers and tempted this guy back off the wagon.
Is this Kanye's pseudonym?
Oh, speaking of that, this whole section, anytime you invoke the devil anywhere, I was like, was Kanye reading this and that's what flipped the switch? Because there was...
Once the devil conspiracy start, here comes talk about the Jews.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I was, there-
always. It will, if it's a conspiracy or if it's Satan, somebody's going to bring up Jews. It's
Gonna happen.
guaranteed.
Yeah. But yeah, I do love the idea that gave up 2 years of sobriety for Jesus. And I was like, I think that's supposed to go the other way around.
How
But
they're an unwilling slave to Jesus.
Yeah.
You know how like Jesus' whole thing was just like forcing his shit on everybody?
right, famously.
Jacqueline from 3 years ago. It is a small world. My second husband was an adoptive son of Christopher Reeve's cousin. I came so close to Superman, if only by many steps removed. I never met the man. He had died long before we all visited the farms in Pennsylvania where Christopher rode horses as a kid. So cute. I remembered learning about why Pennsylvania was named Pennsylvania in grade school. William Penn's wife was named Sylvania. It's funny how all we kids ever care about is current affairs and who is zooming who to this very day.
My favorite part about that is that it is coming from a very honest, insane place.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever attempt to make themselves seem interesting by claiming they know someone who was adopted by Christopher Reeves's cousin.
yes.
They're giving you 100% truth in that insanity.
Oh. My favorite part is there's a Aretha Franklin reference. Who's zooming who?
Well, Jacqueline actually came back for more. And it's, she had another boring story.
She has a lot to share.
This
She knows
is
somebody who served some soup to Rick Moranis.
this is also from 3 years ago. I just came from the grocery store. On my way to pick up my smoked turkey breast, I happened to be on the heels of a gal who had a lot of things to vent, evidently at her man. I was passing their heels on my way to my next stop, and all I heard from her sounded like yap, yap, yap. She made the sound of a little dog, maybe a Pomeranian. I had them little dogs when I was a kid. Anyway, her boyfriend spoke clear as a bell. He said, "Why do you always have to act like this?" It was too late for me to make a U-turn because the moment was gone. But I kept thinking to myself, I hope he went on to toss his arm over her shoulder and say to her, "Let us reason together." I know that the likelihood of this is astronomical, but it struck me as hilarious for that very reason. So I told the cashier the story, and she broke up laughing. I hope my observation goes down in infamy. The exposure of men for their failures to follow up with a carrot after insulting their woman. LOL.
Who the fuck is this?
Jacqueline is out of her mind.
This goddamn unhinged, jack-handy, lowered expectations of ecstasy motherfucker.
These are inducing ADHD into my brain. Like, this is like I'm losing track of anything that I held important. These things are pushing all kind of information out. I can't hold attention. It's scary.
I'll formulate a thought about the first sentence, and then we're in fucking the Wizard of Oz by the end of it. Like,
I like the part where she totally lies that the cashier laughed at her. I'm sure if the cashier laughed at all at that, it was just like, okay, all right, well, enjoy your broccoli, Jacqueline. Have a good day.
That's a weird. You got to be one lonely motherfucker to think a cashier needs to hear that. That ain't banter. I don't want to hear that crazy.
Holding them hostage at this point.
And finally, Mia Retsam from 1 year ago. I have sympathy for my one and only husband of 1,000 years, Satan, a.k.a. Christopher Lee Sellers. Sexy ass pudding. Shout out to Christopher Lee Sellers. I did look that up because I was like, is that a reference to something? And I just Googled that name and saw a bunch of mug shots. So shout out to them.
It's
Shout
like
out.
those radio slow jam shout outs. Dedicating this one to.
Oh. Man, that
my
guy.
husband of 1,000 years. He is satanic. You might know him as just Chris.
It's Chris. Vampire named Chris. Shout out to Christopher Lee Sellers. Shout out to the Magic City. And that is the Rolling Stones' Sympathy for the Devil, our jam of the week. Lauren Lamphere, where can people find you on the internet?
well, I was born in 2001, so pretty much just Instagram. Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at The Lamp Is Here. Yeah, I'm not active on Twitter, so that's pretty much it.
All right. And listen, we got people listening in New York. As soon as Lauren gets on some damn shows up there, go out and see some live comedy. Genuinely one of my favorite new Alabama comedians that I've met in the past couple of years. Fucking hilarious. Go see Lauren if you get a chance. Narado, what do you got to tell the people?
Follow me on Facebook, Narado Moore, Twitter and Instagram, Rod for short. That's R-O-D, the number 4, S-H-O-R-T. Listen to my podcasts, Uncle Rod's Story Corner and Roy's Job Fair.
Yes. Oh, absolutely hilarious. Chris, where can people find you?
You'll find me rambling and occasionally posting art stuff on Instagram. Chris Davis Does Stuff.
Hell yeah. Give everybody here a follow. If you live in the Birmingham area, go see some live comedy. These people are doing it right. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. And of course, you can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Every episode ever, youtube.com/TheGoodsPod. Best way to support the show, head to patreon.com/TheGoodsPod. Just dropped a wrestling episode all about WWECW's 2006 horrible pay-per-view, December to Dismember. So give that a listen. Second best way to support this show, head to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Show the attitude of gratitude, because if you did not have the attitude of gratitude, Daddy, Mia Retsam's husband of 1,000 years will take you to hell.
Birmingham, the greatest city in Alabama. Across this entire land, there ain't no place like Birmingham.
The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.